and take two. And hello everyone! So, I've already recorded this in camera, said no. So let's do this again. I hope you're all having a good day. I'm teetering on the edge of good and bad. I guess I'm a good, nice mediocre right now, and I'll take it after the last couple weeks I've had, which have been pretty much utter chaos. And April is going to be chaos also. Yay! So this is spring break. We got a little calm before the storm. Midterms was utter chaos. I think the what do they call that? Where people get the itch for spring. Well, they certainly had it, and there was a whole lot of excitement for this spring break. Unfortunately, it's been really chilly, and I must admit I'm sort of in that winter depressed state right now, and I'm just like, please, can I please have warmth from here on out? But no, can't have that. So yesterday was pretty decent. It was like 60. I'll take that. I'm totally okay with that. And it started out as 50s, 60s earlier on in the day, and now we're down to 40s, and it's gonna get to 30s, and then snow on Friday. See this? It's like, really? I'm just thinking I'm in the wrong climate zone. Alright, so let's do it. It's March. Halfway through March, apologetically, I admit that I realized, when was that? Early this week, I was like, ooh, I didn't do my intro to March, so I apologize for that. These books that I'm going to first go over actually were bought in the end of February when I did the Main Street Books book adventure. These are the books that I got there. Rainbow Rowell's Attachments. This is the author of Eleanor and Park and Fangirl, which I have not read and I'm tempted to read, but I've seen so many reviews and talks and hauls on them. Actually on BookTube, that I really right now I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I'm interested enough in reading them. Maybe this summer, but I hadn't really heard about this one, so I thought this could be interesting. Apparently there's this guy working in the IT department, and he's supposed to snuff out the personal emails, to which he does, except for to these two women. What are their name? Beth and Jennifer, and they send emails, gossipy emails to each other throughout the day, and instead of stopping them, he's sort of entertained by them, and I believe he falls for Beth. By the time Lincoln realizes he's fallen for Beth, it's way too late to introduce himself. What would he say? Because apparently he knows everything about them. So that sounds really fun. I think that's going to be my next one, maybe. I'm sort of on a JoJo Moyes kick yet. We'll get to that one. We'll get to that in a second. This one looked good. Astonish Me by Maggie Shipstead, or Shipstead. I apologize. I'm not sure where the emphasis is on that one. This one, alright, she was a ballet, principal ballerina? A young American ballerina in Paris, and she fell into a doomed, passionate romance with a Soviet dance superstar, Arslan. After playing a leading role in his celebrated defection, Joan bowed out of the jeez, gosh, it's one of those days. You know, one of those days? I'm having one of those days. She bowed out of the spotlight for good. Heartbroken and humbled by her own modest career. But when her son turns out to be a ballet prodigy, Joan is pulled back into a world she thought she left behind. A world of dangerous secrets, of Arslan, and of longing for what will always be just out of reach. I love ballet things. Ballet, Paris, that sort. So I thought that looked really interesting. I will say the one thing I really like about that bookstore, I've been there twice now. I do like that they have a really interesting selection. If you were from the central PA region, I lived there for a blip of time. In the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a bookstore in State College called Savoda's. Oh, I love that bookstore. I loved that bookstore. I spent way too much time and money there when you're a student and can't afford it. Like, I don't need to eat today. I'm going to get this Attila Nan book. 4 of them. So that was sort of the same feeling as this one. maybe Sabota's was a bit more, what would be the word? I can't even think of the right word. Like, their books were a little bit more independent based, like really weird selections, in a good way. They were books that I've never been exposed to anywhere else other than there, but this place does have that essence of it. And it was similar to the one in Frederick that Curious Iguana. I heard Chameleon circuit in my head, and alas, that's Doctor Who. That has nothing to do with bookstores. And I hear there's a bookstore in Shepherdstown that is similar to that sort of style of book, so I'm curious to see that one. I had thought about going there over spring break, but it's already halfway through break. That's not going to happen, so I'll save that for a summer adventure, because I'm sort of stuck in the studio, so that's not going to happen. But I love their selection. This one looked good also. This was on the front table when you walked in, sort of new, interesting reads. The Look of Love by Sarah Geo, which was this one. Oh, this one sounded interesting. This reminded me of Sarah Addison Allen's magical realism style. So let's see if it is similar, because I do like that style of magical realism. Born during a Christmas blizzard, Jane Williams receives a rare gift, the ability to literally see true love. Jane has emerged from an ailing childhood, a lonely, hopeless romantic, when, on her 29th birthday, a mysterious greeting card arrives specifying that Jane must identify the 6 types of love before the full moon following her 30th birthday, or face grave consequences. Who knows what that would be. When Jane falls for a science writer who doesn't believe in love, she fears that her fate is sealed. Inspired by the classic song, The Look of Love is utterly enchanting. That sounded really entertaining, so I'm going to give that one a whirl. This one seemed really interesting. I picked the one that appealed to me the most. I think they had about 4 to 6 of hers. Elena Ferrante's The Day of Abandonment, and this is the Europa editions, and this was really interesting because they actually have a section for international fiction and fictional writers. And this was in the Italian section. I have to confess, I actually know nothing about Italian fiction and their writers in Italy, the contemporary writers in Italy, so this was not her big seller, most popular one, but this one seemed most interesting, and it's actually a really lovely edition. Oh, it's static, has a little fake flap, pretty decent typesetting, chapters are in the middle, I sometimes like that. This one, just a really quick one, it shocked audiences in Europe with its unsentimental and unyielding depiction of motherhood, marriage, and solitude. This is the days after she was abandoned by her husband. Olga's days of abandonment had become a desperate, dangerous freefall into the darkest places of the soul as she roams the empty streets of the city that she had never learned to love. When she finds herself trapped inside the 4 walls of her apartment in the middle of a summer heat wave, Olga is forced to confront her ghosts, the potential loss of her own identity, and the possibility that life may never return to normal again. They all had this style of cover. It took great restraint to not buy them all, because they looked really nice together. Here comes my cat. There goes my cat. What are you doing? He says hi. Uh-huh. Hi. Alright, I think he's going to behave. You will probably hear him a few times because he's starting to lay down right behind the camera. The final one from the day, Shawn Michaels' Us Conductors. Beautiful, delicious, deckled edges, really nice. I love the margins on this one, and the typeface is really, really quite lovely. We have the fake little flaps. This one is locked in a cabin aboard a ship bearing him back to Russia. Lev begins to type his story, a tale of love, electricity, and the invention of the world's strangest instrument, the theremin. And it'll go from there. I won't go on because I know this video is getting kind of long and I still have 2 more to go through. I love the cover, love the design. It looked interesting. So we'll see how that one goes. So that was it from Main Street Books. I did hit up our friend Target again, and I think I'll probably go there tomorrow also because I'm missing only one, and I'm only missing Jojo Moyes 1+1, so might as well make it a completion. I picked up The Girl You Left Behind. I like this one because it has the nice little flap inside. They all have it except for this one. Almost there, almost. Sophie kept her family safe while her adored husband Edouard fights on the front. This is France, 1916. When their town falls to the Germans in the midst of World War I, she is forced to serve them every evening at her hotel. From the moment the new commandant sets eyes on Sophie's portrait, which was painted by her artist husband, a dangerous obsession is born, one that will lead Sophie to make a dark and terrible decision. Almost a century later, Sophie's portrait hangs in the home of Liv Halston, a wedding gift from her young husband for his sudden death. After a chance encounter reveals the portrait's true worth, the battle begins over its troubled history. So that sounds interesting. I am currently on... I finished Silver Bay, and now I am on... The Last Letter from Your Lover. I really love her writing style, so I'm just going to plow through all of them. The Ship of Brides. Let's take off the ugly little Target sticker. Ew, ugly sticker. Much better. This one, I believe they are, World War II has ended, and all over the world, young women are beginning to fulfill their promises made to the men that they wed in wartime. And it goes from there. It's the story of said brides. It sounds like it's going to be one of those collection ones. You can sort of get the idea of it's going to, I think, be told in parts by the different people, similar to Silver Bay. I do have to say, I'm going to do a review on Silver Bay separately. My mom's currently reading it, so probably one of those style reviews with her. Silver Bay, I think, might be one of my top 5 books ever. It's like Pride and Prejudice / Blue Castle, and then Silver Bay. I'm definitely going to do a reread of that. Because as soon as I put it down, I wanted to read it again. So I really enjoyed that one to the point that I just went and bought all of her books. Wow, they're matching. Because I saw Serafina, the second and third books are out, and they don't match my first one. Why, book publishers, do you do that? We'll rant on that later, but I was so upset that I'm probably not going to buy them. Because it's just like, this disgusting. Why don't you match? So I want to see them in real life because it doesn't look like they're the same style. Maybe the photo on Amazon just looks like crap. I don't know. But it looks nothing like the edition that I have. And I really enjoyed that book and the story, but I do not like when books don't match. Look how beautiful. And then you feel one that's off. Maria V. Snyder, you do that too. Why? Oh, I have her new ones out also about Valak and the poison tester lady. I can't remember, Yelena. And the cover, of course, doesn't match those either. It just drives me bonkers. I don't know if that's a designer thing or an artist thing or a book lover thing, or it's just maybe all of them put together. I like things nice in the shelves. Oh! Let me see. I'm going to check the time. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. I actually forgot about one that I got because I already put it away because it was like one of those super special ones. I got this at Main Street Books also. Haruki Murakami's The Strange Library. And I actually laid this out, and this is what triggered it when I saw it. It reminds me in concept of publishing to the Tree of Codes, and I'm sure you've seen this around the booktube community. A lot of people have picked it up. I waited quite a while for this one. I just loved that they tried to do something different with the publishing style. And then, that being said, stop it. That being said, this is actually the only reason why I think I picked this one up also. I paused because it was $18, but the art direction and design was by Chip Kidd, which... if you're in design land, you probably enjoy him also. But it feels interactive. And let me try to do this one-handed. So the book actually opens, and then you start reading it from there. And And this is not, let me turn said body, this isn't the easiest to show, but I'll just flip through a couple pages. Really not easy to show. There we go. So you can sort of get an idea of how it works. Very interesting. I like books that try to press the boundaries of print and print publishing, and this one falls under that category. And I had already put them away with the other ones of his. So again, yeah, I like things that belong together in a set, and if you throw them off, I'm gonna be annoyed. I have book OCD. I can't help it. So, how is your March going? What books have you been buying? I'm trying to catch up on YouTube and BookTube and all of that because this semester, I don't know what has happened. It's just like I have no free time. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I feel like I don't even have time to eat this semester, which I like because I like to be busy during the semester and then chill when the chill times are out. But I really needed this week. So did you get any good books? Link them down below because I love going through the ones that you recommend and adding them to my wish list. I have gloriously long wish lists, but that's usually when the holidays come around, then I go, let's spend $100 on wish list stuff and try to chip them away. So let me know what you're reading in the doobly-doo below, and I hope you're having a deliciously awesome day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. May there be no take 3.